A small boat with 6 Somali pirates just fired a rocket launcher at a billion-dollar American warship. The pirates thought they were about to collect the biggest ransom in history. Instead, they triggered a military response so devastating that it changed piracy forever. What happened next was so brutal that the Navy tried to keep it classified. But today, you're going to hear the whole truth. Before we dive into this insane story, make sure you hit subscribe, because what I'm about to tell you will completely change how you think about modern warfare. You think you know what piracy looks like? Forget everything Hollywood taught you. What's happening off the coast of Africa right now is so much worse than anything you've ever imagined. And when these modern pirates made the biggest mistake in maritime history, the consequences were absolutely terrifying. First one, the billion-dollar hunters. Here's what nobody talks about. Somali pirates aren't desperate fishermen trying to survive. They're millionaire crime bosses running sophisticated military operations that would make some armies jealous. These guys are pulling in over $200 million a year. That's more money than most Fortune 500 companies make in profit. They've got intelligence networks, satellite phones, GPS tracking, and weapons that can sink a cruise ship. But here's the part that'll blow your mind. They specifically target the biggest, most expensive ships on the planet. Oil tankers worth $500 million. Container ships carrying goods for entire countries. And they're so confident in their abilities that they started believing they were untouchable. That arrogance was about to cost them everything. Picture this, March 18th, 2006. The Indian Ocean is dead calm. 2 of America's most lethal warships are cutting through the water like silent predators. The USS Cape St. George, a floating fortress packed with enough missiles to level a city, and the USS Gonzales, a destroyer so advanced it can track a baseball from 50 miles away. These aren't just ships. They're billion-dollar killing machines crewed by some of the most highly trained warriors on Earth. But 6 Somali pirates in a tiny boat were about to make a decision so stupid, so recklessly insane, that it would become legendary in naval warfare. Second one, the fatal mistake. The pirates had been watching. They'd identified what they thought was another easy target, just another merchant ship to hijack and hold for ransom. They'd done this dozens of times before: board the ship, terrorize the crew, demand millions, collect the money, repeat. But this time, they got it catastrophically wrong. As their small attack boats approached the American warships, something should have tipped them off. The sleek gray hulls, the massive radar arrays spinning on top, the gun turrets that could vaporize their boats in seconds. But greed makes people stupid, and these pirates were about to learn that lesson in the most brutal way possible. The boarding party from the USS Gonzales moved in to investigate. What they saw next defied all logic and reason. The pirates weren't running. They weren't surrendering. Instead, they were loading rocket-propelled grenades, weapons designed to punch through tank armor, and pointing them directly at a United States Navy warship. Let me put this in perspective for you. This is like 6 guys with baseball bats deciding to rob Fort Knox. The level of delusion required to think this could work is almost incomprehensible. But they didn't just threaten. They actually pulled the trigger. Third one, the point of no return. The first rocket streaked across the water and slammed into the hull of the USS Cape St. George. For a split second, time stood still. Then all hell broke loose. You have to understand, attacking a U.S. Navy ship isn't just a crime. It's an act of war. And the American military doesn't negotiate with people who declare war on them. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Both warships opened fire simultaneously, turning the calm ocean into a war zone. The sound was deafening, like thunder that never stops. The pirates' main vessel disappeared in a ball of fire so intense that it could be seen from 20 miles away. The smaller boats tried to scatter, but you can't outrun guided missiles. When the smoke cleared, the ocean was littered with debris and bodies. 12 pirates found themselves in American custody, staring at life sentences in federal prison. 2 boats were captured. 1 pirate was dead. But here's the part that'll shock you. A Somali pirate organization later claimed that 27 fighters had been involved in this suicidal attack. 27 people thought they could take on the most powerful navy in human history. The arrogance is mind-blowing, but what happened next changed everything. Fourth one, the secret war. What I'm about to tell you isn't in any official military report. The Navy's response to piracy goes way beyond what they admit publicly, and some of these tactics are absolutely ruthless. They've turned the ocean into a surveillance state. Satellites track every boat larger than a canoe. Underwater sensors detect submarines and divers. Drones patrol 24 hours a day, recording everything. But the real genius is psychological warfare. The Navy doesn't just fight pirates, they terrorize them. Water cannons that can flip a speedboat from half a mile away, sound weapons that cause permanent hearing damage, laser systems that can blind attackers instantly. Commercial ships under Navy protection have been turned into floating fortresses. Razor wire that can slice through bone. Electrified barriers that deliver potentially lethal shocks. Safe rooms with independent air supplies and satellite communications. The message is clear. If you attack American interests, you won't just be defeated. You'll be destroyed so completely that other pirates will think twice before trying. And it's working. Piracy rates have dropped by over 60% in areas where the Navy maintains a visible presence. But the pirates adapted, and their new tactics are absolutely terrifying. Fifth one, the evolution of evil. Modern pirates have become something far more dangerous than anyone expected. They're not just criminals anymore. They're cyber terrorists with military-grade equipment. They hack into shipping company databases to steal cargo manifests and crew information. They monitor satellite communications to track high-value targets. Some groups have even acquired surface-to-air missiles capable of shooting down helicopters. The most sophisticated operations use motherships, large vessels that serve as floating bases hundreds of miles from shore. These ships carry fuel, weapons, food, and communications equipment that allow pirates to operate for months without returning to land. But here's what's really scary. They've started targeting specific types of cargo. Chemical tankers carrying toxic materials, nuclear waste shipments, biological research samples. Imagine if terrorists got their hands on that kind of material. The potential for catastrophe is almost unthinkable. The Navy knows this, and their response has been to develop countermeasures that sound like science fiction. Sixth one, future warfare. Unmanned combat vessels that can operate autonomously for weeks. Artificial intelligence systems that can identify pirate vessels from satellite imagery. Directed energy weapons that can disable electronics from miles away. The Navy is also using environmental warfare in ways that most people never hear about. They track illegal fishing operations, monitor pollution, and use environmental protection as cover for intelligence gathering. Local communities that once supported pirates are now providing information to naval forces because they've realized that piracy is destroying their ocean ecosystems and traditional fishing grounds. This creates a network of human intelligence that makes it almost impossible for pirates to operate without detection. But the most effective weapon isn't technology, it's fear. Seventh one, the deterrent effect. Every pirate in Somalia knows the story of March 18, 2006. They know what happens when you attack American warships. The survivors tell stories that keep other pirates awake at night. The psychological impact of that single engagement has prevented dozens of potential attacks. Pirates now go to extraordinary lengths to avoid American military vessels. But the Navy isn't satisfied with just deterrence. They want complete elimination of the piracy threat. Hit that subscribe button because what I'm about to reveal will shock you. Eighth one, the hidden truth. Here's what the military doesn't want you to know. The war against piracy is just the beginning. The tactics and technologies being developed to fight pirates are being tested for much larger conflicts. The surveillance networks, the autonomous weapon systems, the cyber warfare capabilities. All of this is preparation for potential conflicts with major world powers. Pirates have become unwitting test subjects for the future of naval warfare. Every engagement provides data that improves American military capabilities. The ocean has become a laboratory for developing weapons and strategies that could determine the outcome of World War III. And the pirates who attacked those American warships, they didn't just commit a crime. They helped trigger a revolution in military technology that's changing the balance of power on Earth. Ninth one, the global impact. The ripple effects of that single engagement continue to this day. International maritime law has been rewritten. Naval cooperation between countries has reached unprecedented levels. The entire global shipping industry has been transformed, but the most significant change is psychological. The world now knows that attacking American interests anywhere on Earth will result in swift, overwhelming retaliation. This has implications far beyond piracy. Every terrorist organization, every rogue nation, every criminal enterprise has received the same message. The United States military will find you and they will destroy you. The 6 pirates who fired that rocket didn't just attack a ship. They challenged the most powerful military force in human history. And the response sent shockwaves around the world that are still being felt today. So, what really happens when Somali pirates attack a massive U.S. Navy ship? They trigger a demonstration of American military power so overwhelming that it changes the entire global security landscape. The March 2006 engagement wasn't just a military victory, it was a message to every criminal organization on Earth. Attack American interests and face complete annihilation. The pirates who survived learned that some mistakes can't be undone. Those who didn't survive became a warning that echoes across every ocean on the planet. Today, the U.S. Navy continues to patrol international waters with technology and firepower that would have been unimaginable just decades ago. Their mission extends far beyond fighting pirates. They're defending American interests and global stability against threats that most people never even know exist. The brave sailors who serve on these ships deserve our deepest respect. They stand watch in the most dangerous waters on Earth, ready to respond to any threat with decisive force. Their vigilance protects not just American lives and property, but the entire global economy that depends on safe maritime trade.